20th of February 2020. So quite good date. Good morning from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever you are, guys. Piotr here, and this is the London Open live market update. Let's have a look what we have as there was a few negative information out from the Asia. So let's go straight and discuss the things based on the charts, guys. All right, so what we have? Well, as you can see, there was some quite good move on the Nasdaq to the downside. Actually, most of the indices seen this type of the pullback at the beginning of the Tokyo session. There are a few reasons behind. During the Tokyo session, the few really big tech names warned on the coronavirus. So looks like it's a post-Apple follow-up, right? So for example, Taiwan Foxconn warns of negative revenue impact from the virus outbreak. More you can find on the Reuters. Also, Lenovo warns of coronavirus challenges, but the Q3 profit beats expectations. Well, looks like the things are getting serious because also China lowered benchmark lending rate as economy struggles to shake off the virus shock. That hit commodity currencies, right? Especially Australian dollar and the Kiwi dollar. As you can see, this type of the move to the downside. Of course, we do have a new high when it comes to the dollar index, but here I would be careful. We are approaching a 100 level, psychological level. I'm going to eventually prepare the separate analysis only for the dollar index, but we are approaching 100 level. And if you are going to check the weekly chart, and if you are going to watch to the left side, we might see a little bit of the pullback, but as long as 98 holds on a weekly basis, then much higher levels are possible. So, well, dollar is king, and probably this is dollar stay as a king for a little bit longer than what we have, right? Or what may some think that it's not gonna cross 100 because, for example, President Trump he doesn't like the strong dollar, right? Anyway, from the intraday perspective, I'm in a wait and see mood. From the medium term perspective, I'm still building, but for example on a dollar yen I've been stopped out, but I'm still building the stake towards the risk of sentiment. Yesterday I started to build oil short position. All right, I'm very curious what we are going to get after the EA today, and from the intraday perspective, I'm also going to watch what is going to happen with oil when it comes to retest the range of 53, 50, 54 during the US hours. Guys, we are not going to switch just like that from the risk on to risk off. Probably when it comes to the indices, we are going to see some kind of the consolidation period first, right? But anyway, let's have a look from the intraday perspective. So the oil, I'm going to look to sell from the intraday perspective. I'm going to look to sell during the New York hours post EEA. I want to see some negativity, some more negativity, because if we are going to get 54.20, the next one is 55.40, right? Levels towards 55.40 on the oil, right? What I'm gonna to look as a downside, that we are going to take out Tuesday low, and well, we are going to retest 50, right? That's how I see the oil going on, in my opinion. Now gold is going higher, was higher post FOMC. Even we've seen the stronger dollar, even we've seen equities higher, gold was the bulls were able to take out and create the new high. We've seen a little bit of the pullback during the Asian hours, but from the intraday perspective, looks like we are trying to create the range here. All right, been thinking about the doubling the range to the downside, okay, to retest this zone around 1590, but well, the question is how the market is going to treat the late rally of the yesterday, right? If that was the stop count only, and we are going to reject the current rally, right? If that's going to happen, we might see retest of the 1604, 1602, and if we are going to break to the downside 1594, 1589 from the intraday perspective as a downside targets on the gold. Looking lower, that's what we are testing right now. Is very interesting how it's going to trade out. Wait and see mode for me here for now on the gold, right? We are going to have during the European session, we are going to have the UK retail sales huge move to the downside on the cable yesterday, but where we are, I think, you know, as I mentioned, the dollar got the chance to be much more stronger, but doesn't mean that we have to sell some crosses right at support. I think that we are going to trade this over under here. So post retail sales, I think that's gonna be 2880. It's going to hold, and then I think that we got a chance, because that was the huge breakdown yesterday, right? 2970, that was the huge breakdown, right? So I took into the consideration that rally, right? I made that measure from that over under, and it's giving me the levels close to that breakdown point, right? So I'm looking to sell pound, but on rally, right? Cannot rule it out. Very speculative longs around 2880 post UK retail sales. So I'm going to watch out pound very carefully when it comes to the pound USD, right? And one more thing is euro pound. I'm also watching very carefully, okay? Because latest developments, meaning what we've seen on Tuesday here, right? We have this over under, so I would like to see half of that range to be tested, like 83.25, right? Well, it might end up just 83.40, right? And eventually we might see some kind of the rally, whoops. But here is quite significant level, right? 83, around 83.80, 84, right? So I would like to see rather deeper pullback and trying to eventually get long on a much lower levels, and then targeting levels close to 84 on euro pound. Euro dollar, all right. Sell the rallies, right, meaning that we might see a little bit of the squeeze from here. As you can see, we're trying to fight the falling trend line. So I would like to see some kind of the rally towards 108.50, 109, all right. So levels close to weekly open or close to supply we discussed previously based on what we have here. All right. So I see possibility of the squeeze on the euro dollar. Everyone was waiting for the gap to be closed right now, 7:30. It might not materialized yet, and we might see some kind of the well, let's call it correction, right? As long as we are below 110, there is only one direction to the downside, but of course some bounces are possible. Guys, don't be trapped. I'm going to make the update if necessary. That's it from me right here, right now. Good luck. Enjoy the Thursday. Take care and goodbye.